Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sequia Stadium here in East Lansing, Michigan. My name's Kelin Flynn, alongside me, Alex Miller. We've got some Big Ten softball for you today. Little interstate rivalry matchup between the Michigan Wolverines and the Michigan State Spartans. Midweek Wednesday action. We're moments away from getting started here at Sequia Stadium. Alex, it's beautiful weather. Great to be outside. As our first pitch is a ball outside. Faith Guidry in the circle. Guidry, in the circle for the Spartans. And it's Ali Sealer in that leadoff spot for Michigan. The lefty sophomore has been having a great season at the plate. The 1-0 delivery. Outside, ball number 2. Alex, this is a Michigan State team that's 1-8 in Big Ten play. They've struggled this season. Michigan in a down year as well after losing 2 of their stud pitchers from last season. What does Michigan need to do to secure the win on the road here in a rivalry matchup?
Well, take care of business. Drukowski on the mound for the Wolverines has had a really good season, replacing those losses, and just keep Michigan State off the board early.
Third pitch is again outside for ball number 3. 3-0 count. Hitters count for Sealer early. Faith Guidry, 4.31 ERA on the year, as that is ball 4 outside, 4 straight pitches. Sealer takes first base.
Center fielder, number 3.
And so
Lexi
Michigan
Blair.
with a runner on early. That'll bring up Lexi Blair, the senior center fielder for the Wolverines, batting a monstrous .362 on the season. And Guidry's going to have her work cut out for her here. The delivery from the circle. Blair shows bunt, pulls it back.
Top of this Michigan lineup is really potent. Players that get on base a lot and just can put a defense in a scare early, and that's what Michigan will look to do here.
The delivery is outside, and Sealer aggressive on the base paths early. She's looking to get a jump if she can and steal second. Guidry in the circle. 1-1 count. Lexi Blair at the plate for Michigan. The delivery is struck, and that's going to be a fly out to the star center fielder, Jessica Mabry. Just couldn't quite drop in time and find the gap, so that'll be one down early.
Good swing on that ball, just a little hung in the air, just a little bit too long there in left center.
One on, one out for Michigan in the top of the first here from Sequia Stadium in East Lansing. That's a strike in there on the graduate transfer, Ellie Mattia from Boston College. Mattia batting at a .250 clip this season. Guidry's going to take a peek at the wristband and deliver. That's outside. Count is 1-1. And Alex, Michigan has a lot of speed at the top of the order, especially here. Ellie Sealer, we've seen the Spartans keeping a tight eye on her. Macy Lee, the catcher, popped up a couple of times there. Sealer hasn't gone yet, but she's always a threat to steal. Sealer again keeping the Spartans honest. 2-1 count. That last pitch was outside. Guidry in her last start struggled against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Gave up 8 runs, and only 3 of them were earned, though, in her just under 3 innings of work. That ball is chopped right back to the pitcher. Will advance Sealer, but Mattia is thrown out at first base. So 2 out, and a runner on second now for Michigan.
Number 2, Kiki Thole.
And Kiki Thole will step into the batter's box. for Michigan.
What's up, baby?
That pitch is fouled off first. Thole got a lot of power in that bat from the right-handed batter's box, Alex. Guidry takes a peek at that wristband, looks, delivers. It's going to be called a strike. Got the outside of the plate there.
Looked close from my view. I mean, big spot here for Thole. 2 outs, runner in scoring positions. A base hit Price scores a fast base runner there, so important for Thole to try to put this ball in play here.
Something right up the middle could be huge for Michigan. The delivery swung on and fouled off back into the dirt. So Thole will hang back in there in an 0-2 count. Guidry's got the advantage. 2 out, 1 on second base. It's the leadoff hitter, Sealer, drew the walk on 4 straight pitches. The delivery from Guidry is swung on and struck. That's going to drop right on the foul line for a base hit. That will score Sealer from second. And Kiki Thole has an RBI single, dropped it right on the white chalk along the left field foul line. And
I think they called it foul, Kelin.
It looked like it hit right on the chalk. Thole thought it was good, and Bonnie Thole, the head coach for the Wolverines, is going to come have a chat with Charles McManus, the third base umpire here today in East Lansing. And so it looks like it will be ruled a foul ball. Thole just inches away from a RBI single there. And an 0-2 count. It was a good piece of hitting, just dropped barely foul. And so now Thole's going to have to climb right back into that batter's box in an 0-2 count. Guidry takes a peek at that wristband. The delivery. Swung on and missed. Kiki Thole is struck out. And the Wolverines strand Sealer at first. Guidry gets out of the inning unscathed after the 4-pitch walk to start it off, and that'll bring up Lauren Durkowski on the mound, or in the circle for Michigan.
Over 80 student-led club sports teams represent Michigan State University while competing all across the country. Tonight,
Lauren Durkowski's got that ERA under 2 on the season. She's been dominant after a rough early start to the season in Florida, going up against some really stiff competition down there, but been able to get that ERA down to 1.84, 12-7 record on the season, 2 saves as well. Alex, she's been great for Michigan, especially in conference play. Unfortunately, looks like we're having some issues with Alex's mic. We'll try to get that figured out. Alex, we have you back now? Not quite. Apologies as we try to fix this here. And Jessica Mabry steps up first for the Spartans. By far the best bat in this lineup, 352 average. 5 home runs on the year, 16 RBIs. All of those lead the team.
And I think I'm back on the air.
I think we've got Alex back. So Lauren Durkowski versus Jessica Mabry to get us started in the bottom of the first here from East Lansing. Mabry, the right-handed center fielder, steps in. Durkowski delivers. That pitch is swung on and hit straight to LeClaire, the third baseman, and she delivers a strike to Melina Livingston at first base for out number 1.
Routine play there for LeClaire. Does a nice job taking care of business off the ground ball.
Brooke Snyder up next for the Spartans. The right fielder. 267 hitter on the season. Switch hitter, batting lefty today, and she delivers that one to center field. Running play. It's caught by Ellie Mataya, who's in right today, and she flies in to secure that for out number 2. Nice play by the right fielder, Mataya.
Really nice play by Mataya. Got a really nice jump off that ball, on that ball off the bat, and was able to get into the right center field alley to make the play.
That'll bring up the 3-hole hitter, Britton Berkshires. Standing in there, the delivery is fouled off by and Durkowski with a 1 strike now. Bashir's going to hang in there and battle down 0-1 after fouling off that first pitch. Durkowski looks, delivers. That pitch is low for ball 1, 1-1 count. As we go through the Michigan order here, the Michigan defensive lineup here. It's Blair in center, Sealer in left, Mataya in right. Durkowski on the mound, Carcaburo behind the dish for Michigan. And go around the infield first to third, Livingston, Langford, McVeigh, LeClaire. As that pitch is in for strike number 2 on Bashir's. Pretty nice crowd we've got here on a beautiful day in Michigan. The temperatures really turned for the better, 80 and breezy. Couldn't ask for much better. That is swung on and struck down the third base line. Fielded cleanly by LeClaire and delivered to Livingston for out number 3. 0-0 through 1 inning of play. We're going to head back to the Michigan side of things for the top of the second. Due up for the Wolverines is Livingston, Langford, and Carcaburo. Melina Livingston, the senior Penn State transfer from the Metro Detroit area, came back to Michigan last year. Didn't see a ton of work last year, but has really played herself into a every game starter, it seems like, here for Bonnie Thole and this team. Guidry escaped any damage in that first inning. Michigan stranded Sealer on second. The leadoff hitter drew a walk on 4 straight pitches. But a fly out and a foul ball that was merely an RBI single and a ground out back to Guidry was capped off by the strikeout from Kiki Thole to down the Wolverines. In inning number 1, Melina Livingston now will step in for Michigan. And so, Alex, Guidry's going to have to get through this middle of the Michigan order now. Still a lot of potent bats at this point in the lineup for the Wolverines. The delivery to Livingston is high and outside for ball number 1.
Guidry handled herself well in the first. Got a little help maybe from the umpire on that foul ball call. But other than that, she looks good. Didn't have a ton of hard contact off the Wolverine bats in the first.
Livingston gonna hang in there and await pitch number 2. That is gonna be low for ball 2. Livingston with a 2-0 hitters count now. Locks back in, swings the bat a couple of times and hurls it over her shoulder. Delivery. Check swing. Gonna call it a strike anyways. 2-1 count to the senior Penn State transfer. Zero ball game here from East Lansing. Guidry winds up and delivers. That ball is knocked. Gonna drop a diving catch in right field by Snyder. She laid out, flashed the leather, and gave Guidry a little assistance there for out number 1.
Good piece of hitting there by Livingston, just being able to pop that ball in right field, but just had one taken away by Snyder. Really tough play out there in right field.
Excellent play by Snyder, the right fielder, to haul that one in. That's the senior, Brooke Snyder. Pitch is just outside for ball number 1. And now for Michigan is Indiana Langford, the speedy freshman.
Michigan State infield is way in on her, Kelin. They might be watching out for the bunt, I'd have to assume.
And Langford does have a tendency to lay down a bunt. She flashed it for a second there. Strike called, 1-1 count. Langford, though, even with the corners in, has the ability to beat out anything in the infield with her tremendous speed. Was an excellent track athlete in high school. And so Guidry will take a peek at the wristband. Get into her windup and delivers. That ball is fouled back into the netting. 1-2 count to Langford now. 1 out in the top of the second after a fantastic grab in right field from Brooke Snyder. Senior dove out and hauled that one in. Would have been a likely single, maybe even a double if the ball got past her. The delivery outside to Langford, ball 2. And Guidry in a battle here with Indiana Langford, the 6-hitter in this Michigan lineup. 240 on the season. Fouled back into the dirt. Guidry has struggled at times this season. 2-6 record on the year and 17 appearances. But she's gone the distance 4 times. And just outside there for ball number 3. We've got a full count.
Good take there from Langford. They have to protect here.
3-2 count now to Indiana Langford. Guidry takes a peek at the wristband. Gets into her windup. The delivery is outside for ball number 4, and Langford takes first base freely.
Good at bat from Langford. Work the count, able to get on base, and then for Michigan, you've got a base stealing threat on first.
That's absolutely right, and Macy Lee here behind the dish for Michigan State is going to be keeping a very close eye on first base in Indiana Langford. We know she has the wheels as Riley Carcaboro steps into the batter's box for the Wolverines. First pitch is fouled back as Langford already took off there. 0-1 to Carcaboro, the junior. Carcaboro giving Kiki Thole the day off behind the plate tonight. Carcaboro stands in there, and Lee popped up quick to hold Langford at first. Carkerborough, in 25 appearances, has scored 4 times for Michigan as Macy Lee guns down Indiana Langford. She was looking to take off the last couple times, and Lee throws a bullet down to second base to get the out.
Really nice throw by Lee. Put it right where it needed to be, right in the glove, easy tag, perfect throw from the catcher.
And that's only the second time that Langford's been caught stealing this year. That drops her down to 4 of 6. On the season, on the base paths. Gonna have a quick meeting here between the umpires as Carkerborough hangs in there at the dish. Two outs now and a 1-2 count for Carkerborough. No runners on for Michigan. Audrey LeClaire, the third baseman, stands in the on-deck circle. The delivery low for ball number 2. Carkerborough is going to hang in for another attempt here. 2-2 count to the junior. 148 average on the year for Carkerborough. Ball is just inside. Spartan fans wanted the call there. Not going to get it from home plate umpire Mike Burwell.
Good take by Carkerborough. Tough take in a 2-2 count, and she'll get another pitch here.
Shows a great eye there and earns herself a full count. The payoff pitch. Low. Carkerborough takes her base. And so Michigan draws back-to-back walks here in the top of the second. Langford picked off trying to steal second. That brings up Audrey LeClaire. Carkerborough doesn't have the speed of Indiana Langford on first. Not as much of a threat to steal here. First pitch is in for strike number 1. And Alex, we talked about Guidry struggling against Iowa last weekend. She's looked solid here to start off. Couple of walks, but hasn't given up a hit yet.
She's looked solid enough. There hasn't been a ton of hard contact from the Wolverines. Most of the balls in play haven't been hit so hard. There's been a lot of walks, and we'll see if she can keep the walks off base. Got helped out by her catcher throwing out a runner stealing, and we'll see if the walks add up or not for the Spartan pitcher.
And a number of Wolverines have made solid contact just inches away from base hits. We saw Kiki Thole drop one just foul. Looked like it was good. Inches off the chalk. That pitch is way outside for ball 1, 1-2 count.
We were talking about how her last outing she had a lot of unearned runs because her defense didn't help her out, and they've certainly helped her out early today.
Talk about the fantastic grab from Brooke Snyder in right field. And that ball is chopped to the shortstop. That'll get through for a base hit. Unable to make the play was Anna Fox. Couldn't quite backhand it there, and Michigan has 2 runners on now.
The shortstop, number 32, Ella McVeigh.
So Michigan gets 2 on with 2 outs. That'll bring up Ella McVeigh, the shortstop for the Wolverines, the sophomore, a .262 hitter on the season. A slap hitter. Shows bunt to start. Corners well in. Pulls back there. Strike 1 on McVeigh. Alex, what do you think Bonnie Thole's telling McVeigh here? In this situation, you have 2 on, 2 outs. They have the opportunity to play the infield here to score. You likely need something out of the infield. That ball is chopped to the shortstop, Fox. Fox fires over to first for out number 3, and the Wolverines strand 2 runners there. Get their first hit, but strand 2. We'll head to the bottom of the second.
Danica from East Lansing. Danica, thank you
And Alex, Guidry's been able to get herself out of a couple jams here early. Michigan's gotten 2 runners in scoring position, nothing to show for it.
She has. She's done a nice job. There's been a couple balls put in play, but for the most part, she hasn't gotten herself in too dangerous situation. 2 on, 2 out there, and was able to generate a ground ball. Just keeping pitches off the heart of the plate, trying to put it in the corner, doing a nice job.
And it was a quick inning for Lauren Durkowski in the first. 3 up, 3 down for the sophomore. Easy pickings for her defense. LeClaire had a couple of easy ground balls to third. And we've seen Durkowski be dominant at times this season, especially in Big Ten play. She's looked really good in stretches. Gave up the long ball, especially in Florida, a little susceptible to that, but against the Spartans, who are 1-8 in Big Ten play, no one on this roster with more than 2 home runs outside of Jessica Mabry.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a Michigan State lineup that isn't the deepest that you will see in the Big Ten, and Durkowski's coming off a pretty dominant start versus Illinois. She seems to be coming into her own this season, and in very good position to continue mowing down hitters in this Spartan order.
And we saw her show flashes last year throughout the season, obviously with Storako and Bobian for the Wolverines. The 1-2 was locked in, and you weren't too desperate to get pitching, but she's really stepped into her own here as the ace for the Wolverines this season. Kennedy Wiley, the first baseman, steps in to the right-handed batter's box for Michigan State. And so Durkowski and Wiley will do battle to start the bottom of the second. First pitch is low and inside for ball number 1. Kennedy Wiley hitting at a 206 clip this season. In that 4 spot for Michigan State. That ball is hit hard into left field. That'll be a base hit. Wiley will be held at first, but that was well struck into the outfield. And that's the first hit for the Spartans. So 1 on now for Sparty as Macy Lee steps into the right-handed batter's box for Michigan State. Threw out Indiana Langford, which is no easy task in the top of the second. Now he's going to get a chance to get it done at the dish. The delivery is swung on and struck into right field. That's another base hit. And the Spartans getting something going here in the bottom of the second. 2 on, none out. That brings up Mandy Essman, the younger sister of former Michigan Wolverine Lauren Essman. Essman transferred to Alabama this past season. Mandy Essman wearing the Spartan green and white. And so Durkowski in a bit of a jam here in the bottom of the second. 2 on, none out.
Perhaps we got a little bit ahead of ourselves when counting Durkowski's success this inning.
Durkowski finds her grip, delivers. That one is fouled straight back. So a couple of well-struck softballs into the outfield give the Spartans 2 runners on, no outs. Thank you for tuning into WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. And that one gets past the catcher Carcaburo upstairs, and the Spartans will advance 1 base each. Runners on first and third, or second and third now. No outs.
Dangerous spot here if you're the Wolverines.
And so
base hit probably scores 2.
The Spartans, who are 1-8 in Big Ten play, threatening here early on the Michigan Wolverines. And Michigan State opting to throw a pinch runner out there now. Haley Bila will be running for Macy Lee. Essman still in there at the dish. 1-1 count. Durkowski delivers just outside after the wild pitch.
Good stop on that one by Karkaborough. Kept that one in front of her.
And the Spartans, under the coaching of first-year head coach Sharonda McDonald-Kelly. That one's upstairs for ball number 3, 3-1 count. McDonald-Kelly, the last couple of seasons, was coaching at Campbell University. Led them to NCAA regionals appearances each of the last 2 seasons. She's looking to get this program turned around. Durkowski delivers upstairs, and that's ball 4, bases loaded. And Michigan State in a great position here early. The Wolverines are going to have a chat at the mound, or at the circle.
A walk, not the worst thing in the world there, because now you've got a force at home plate and the double play ball is available. So it's certainly a dangerous situation for Durkowski here, but the double play ball there, they can get out of this inning without trying to minimize the damage now.
And you've got to think you need Durkowski to get at least 1 K here, because anything in play is likely scoring a run, especially if it leaves the infield.
Certainly, and a K would certainly help. And I mean, you might see them go home on a short ground ball if they bring the infield in. They try to minimize Michigan State here, but Spartans certainly threatening right now.
Threatening in a big way. Sharonda McDonald-Kelly, you can feel the vibe around this program. It's fun. The pregame intros, and they've got videographers all over here.
Good crowd here as well.
That pitch is inside for ball 1. And Michigan with their work cut out for them here. Bases loaded, no outs. AJ Militello hanging in there for Michigan State. And that one just spins foul. Karkaborough tried to get under it, but didn't quite have the chance there. 1-1 count. And the go green, go white chants echoing here at Sekia Stadium. Durkowski, the wind up, the delivery. That is swung on, hit to McVeigh. They get the force out at home. Can't turn 2, but Michigan gets their first out. Still bases loaded.
Really good play by McVeigh there to go home with that ball and get the runner. And it helps Durkowski because now it's basically the equivalent of a strikeout. The double play ball ends this inning. There's another ball on the ground, and Durkowski's out of this inning clean.
And Alexis Barrasso will now step in for Michigan State. That is popped up in the infield. McVeigh calls everyone off and hauls it in for out number 2. And Durkowski, in a situation with 3 on and no one out, all of a sudden gets 2 quick outs. And Michigan has a chance to get out of this inning unscathed.
That's just good pitching, Kelin. I mean, the sophomore working like a veteran, not getting rattled with bases loaded and going to work, getting 2 quick outs. And now you're a batter away from getting out of this inning unscathed.
And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here. It'll be Kayla Bain, the freshman from Chesterfield, Michigan, Anchor Bay High School. She'll step in for Anna Fox, the shortstop. Sharonda McDonald-Kelly looking to put the Spartans in the best situation possible to get something out of this inning here. The delivery from Durkowski, swung on and missed. Great pitch from the sophomore. And Michigan State faithful trying to bring the energy here. Bain, a 200 hitter in limited plate appearances. Karkaborough, nice job popping up to haul that one in. Pass ball would have been devastating for Michigan there. Bain only 14 game appearances this season. 2 hits and 10 at-bats. Delivery from Durkowski. Hit right back to Durkowski. She fumbled it, and that's going to score a run for Michigan State. Durkowski with a chance to get out of the inning. It went right back to her, and she couldn't field it cleanly. Sparty strikes first. 1-0 Spartans in the bottom of the second.
That's unfortunate for Durkowski. Did everything right there, got a ground ball right back to herself, a really playable ball to get out of this inning, and just had to move to her right and couldn't make the play. Now you just got to go back and settle your nerves and end this inning here against Mabry.
And Mabry, the most dangerous hitter in this Spartan lineup, steps up with the bases loaded. First pitch is high and outside for ball 1. And Spartan fans delighted here. Excellent coaching and managerial work from McDonald Kelly. Maybe you get a little lucky with the mistake there by Durkowski, but nonetheless, Michigan State puts a run on the board. That pitch in there for strike 1, 1-1 count.
It's an interesting choice to go with a very inexperienced pinch hitter, but I guess it paid off, even if Durkowski did help them a little bit.
And Bain, a freshman, came in there and got the job done. Durkowski delivers outside, ball 2. Oh, and it's called a strike. That one looked like it was just outside. Michigan gets a favorable call there. 1-2 count now. Durkowski with the advantage. That one just outside for ball 2. That looked like the exact same pitch. Two count now. Durkowski and Mabry. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Swung on and missed, but it's tipped. Throw down to first is in time. And Karkaborough holds on. Foul ball tipped right out of her glove, but she was able to recover, deliver, throw down to first. And Michigan escapes a bases loaded, no out situation, only giving up run 1, Alex.
Really good play by Karkaborough there to finish the play and get that ball down to first base. And overall, a nice job by Durkowski to get out of that jam. Should have gotten out of it with nothing gone, but couldn't help herself out. But overall, really minimized the damage. And Michigan right in a spot, only down a run. A lot of innings left to play here, right in this ball game.
Absolutely, and Michigan with the top of the order up now. Ellie Sealer will step into the dish to start the top of the third for Michigan. And Alex, Michigan down 1-0 now. At the top of the order here, you've got to be feeling good if you're Michigan about your chances to strike back here. Faith Guidry hasn't been great, the sophomore, like we said earlier. 4.31 ERA, 2-6 on the year. But she's really done an excellent job of stymieing these Michigan bats early.
Certainly has. I mean, obviously there's a lot of softball left to be played here. Michigan not worried about a 1-0 lead, and top of the order coming up, as you said. You've got your best hitters ready to go here and make a little noise.
And Michigan walked it off to win the series against Illinois last weekend. Won that series 2-1 in the rubber match. That first pitch is just low for ball number 1 to Ellie Sealer. Sealer walked in her first plate appearance on 4 pitches. One of 3 base on balls given by Guidry so far today. Top of the third, the 1-0 is swung on and chopped foul by Sealer. Michigan just got to find a bit of a rhythm here, it feels like. Only one hit so far. Haven't really gotten into their groove.
Got to keep putting runners on base. Healer walked earlier. Certainly a good, a valuable threat on the base paths if you can get on.
That is popped up in the infield. And that'll be hauled in by Barrasso for out number 1. The third baseman calls off the rest of the infield. So 1 down now for Michigan. That'll bring up Lexi Blair. Blair flew out to center in her first at-bat. That pitch is going to be outside for ball 1. And Guidry continues to navigate this Michigan order with precision here.
Certainly is. She's doing a nice job balancing these hitters. Walked a couple, but for the most part, it's really not putting a lot of pitches right over the plate, keeping them where it's tough to hit for the Wolverines.
Just upstairs for ball 2. And Lexi Blair has one of the most disciplined set of eyes in this Michigan order, the graduate senior for the Wolverines. A lot of experience. Going to be tough to get her to chase. Blair pops that one up in the infield, and that'll be hauled in by the shortstop, Anna Fox, for out number 2. And that'll bring up Ellie Mattia. Mattia flew out in her first at-bat, or excuse me, grounded out in her first at-bat. Sent it right back to Guidry. First pitch is just outside for ball 1 to Ellie Mattia. Alex, like you said earlier, Michigan, there's been only 2 balls that I can think of that they've really hit with solid contact. The one that went just foul by Kiki Thole, and then the one that, really 3, and then 2 flyouts into the right field and center field. That pitch is in there for strike 1. A lot of ground balls in the infield, light pop-ups in the infield. That one is hit hard right through the gap between third and short. And Mattia's on for a single.
Just what you were talking about there, Kelin. I mean, not in the air, but hard contact. Goes right through the left side of the infield. Good piece of hitting.
And the senior Mattia, the graduate, rips that one in between Fox and Barrasso. And that'll bring up Kiki Thole. Kiki Thole leads this Michigan lineup in home runs on the year with 7. No one else with more than 2. And Mattia with that speed on first. Going to keep Macy Lee honest, but it'll be interesting to see if Michigan decides to test her again after she gunned down Langford in the second. Thole hangs in there. That ball is hit to the third baseman, Barrasso. Barrasso, wild throw. It took the first baseman, Kennedy Wiley, off the bag. Wiley couldn't haul it in, and throwing error from Barrasso gives Michigan life here, 2 on, 2 out.
Good opportunity for the Wolverines to make some noise, take advantage of the Spartan mistake. 2 runners on, make them pay.
And so Michigan State will huddle up at the circle real quick with Melina Livingston waiting on for Michigan. Livingston flew out to center in her first at-bat. Or excuse me, flew out to right in her first at-bat. That was the fantastic grab by Brooke Snyder that started off the second inning. Michigan ended up stranding 2 in that inning. And threatening to strand 2 more again.
And that's what they're obviously looking to avoid. Best softball teams don't strand runners. That's That's how you lose games. When you threaten and you have chances to score runs in a bunch, you've got to finish.
Livingston hanging in there. The delivery from Guidry is swung on and chopped off the feet of Livingston. So that'll be strike number 1. And for a team that is 1-8 in Big Ten play, they're not showing it with their play today. They're looking very confident out there. And that pitch bounces to Macy Lee. Lee blocks it with ease, but rolls over the plate for ball number 2. Make that ball 1. Delivery from Guidry. Just high. Ball 2. And if there was bases loaded now, I would say Melina Livingston's liable to hit a home run. I've seen her hit 2 grand slams in person. I don't know how, but it feels like every game I call and the bases are loaded, Livingston delivers. Another pitch outside for ball 3. 3-1 hitters count for Melina Livingston.
Livingston might get that pitch to swing at. Maybe add a 3-run homer to the Kelin watch total.
And anything out of the infield here has a chance to score Mattia from second. Ellie Mattia with plenty of speed at second base. The delivery from Guidry. In there for strike number 2. And now we've got a full count. Biggest pitch of the game here for Faith Guidry. Full count, 2 on, 2 outs. The windup, the delivery. Up high, and that'll load the bases. Michigan with a chance now with the bases loaded. And our umpires are going to meet up here to discuss. And so what looked like maybe they called Livingston out. No matter. 3 on, 2 outs for Indiana Langford. The freshman drew a walk in her first at-bat. 2 down now for the freshman. First pitch is in there for strike 1. And an error on a ground ball right back to the pitcher, Durkowski. Allowed Michigan State to push one across to give them a 1-0 lead in a bases loaded, no out situation. Michigan rallied to get 3 outs, but not after the error allowed one to cross.
Same situation as we're in right now on the other side, Kelin.
Langford hanging in there with a 1-1 count. 2 down. The delivery. That's in there for strike number 2. Langford caught looking. So 1-2 pitchers count for Guidry. Guidry takes a peek at that wristband. Tosses the ball in her hand. Winds up and delivers. That is chopped just foul along the third base line. Langford would have beat the throw, but it just rolled foul. Langford, with all that speed coming out of the left-handed batter's box, is always liable to beat out an infield hit. That one goes just foul. Guidry winds up and delivers. That is chopped to the third baseman, Barrasso. Barrasso delivers across the diamond for out number 3. And the Spartans hold Michigan scoreless yet again. Wolverines strand 3. 1-0 Spartans through 2.5 innings of play.
good at bats in the late half of that inning. Michigan able to get them loaded, just couldn't finish and get a runner across. But some promising at bats. They'll look to get back to work next inning and keep Michigan State off the board.
Lauren Durkowski steps back into the circle for Michigan. Got out of the jam there after only giving up 1 run. Had a chance to get out unscathed. A ground ball right back to herself is she couldn't quite field it cleanly. And that allowed Michigan State to push one across. But she got the out with Mabry up to escape. Michigan State still had 3 on at that point. One 0 Spartan lead here. Bottom of the third upcoming. Alex, it's just a beautiful day. It really is.
Beautiful day. Great to be outside. We're outside calling this. Lovely to be out here.
Nowhere else I'd rather be other than outside here. Thank you so much for tuning into WCBN Sports live coverage of Michigan softball. Nowhere we'd rather be than right here, putting out this coverage for you. If you're tuning in, let us know where you're listening from. We're here across the state in East Lansing. Always great to hear where our listeners are tuning in from. First pitch is swung on and missed. That was Brooke Snyder way out and ahead of that one. Durkowski got her with the off-speed. Snyder flew out to center in her first at-bat. That is chopped to the third baseman, LeClaire. LeClaire throws, skips it, and Livingston can't pick it cleanly. And that'll be an infield single.
Really good pitch sequence by Durkowski. Slowed.
And they're going to say that
They're going to call that
just stayed foul. LeClaire picked it in foul territory. And that'll end up benefiting Michigan. That would have been a infield single for Brooke Snyder. Strike 3, got her looking. Lauren Durkowski punches out Brooke Snyder for her first strikeout of the game. Durkowski adds to her strikeout total on the season, up to 146 now.
Claire got bailed out by the foul call there, removed her throwing error to first. Instead, Durkowski able to get a strikeout.
And that is another ball that is hard hit down the third base line, stays foul though. And Durkowski maybe finding her groove here with the strikeout there on Brooke Snyder. Just caught her looking. And she got punched out emphatically by Mike Burwell. That is drilled into the netting. Foul to the right. 0-2 pitchers count now for Durkowski on Britton Bashirs. Bashirs, the designated player for Coach McDonald Kelly. Bashirs a 300 hitter in this lineup on limited at-bats. Only seen 2 starts this year and 9 game appearances. This is only her 12th plate appearance this year. She grounded out to Mataya her first, to McVeigh her first time up. That pitch is just outside for ball 1, 1-2 count. Durkowski still with the advantage. But in those limited appearances, Bashir is able to put one over the fences as a home run, as a double. That is pulled foul again, this time toward the Michigan dugout on the left. Winds are blowing here today in East Lansing. Hasn't affected anything too much. If anything, they're blowing in from the outfield. Durkowski sets, winds up, delivers. That is swung on and chopped foul yet again. And so we'll run it back one more time. One-two count. Bashir's really making Lauren Durkowski work for this out here. What do you think Durkowski's going to go to here, Alex? Go for the fastball or maybe mix in some off speed? Chopped right back to Durkowski. Handles it with ease this time, and Bashir's doesn't even run it out.
Well, it looked like she went fastball, and really good at-bat on the pitching aspect for Durkowski, keeping the ball over the plate. Oh, they called that foul, I believe.
And that makes more sense for why she didn't run it out. Likely clipped it off of her toe.
Durkowski really pounding the zone right now. Might go right back there again against Bashir's.
Durkowski delivers. That is fouled off yet again. Bashir's
All foul balls are sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance.
really battling in this plate appearance here.
Foul balls to the marketing staff. Auto Owners Insurance, safe, sound, secure for over 100 years.
One out. Brooke Snyder struck out looking for Durkowski's first strikeout of the outing. 1-0 Spartan lead. That pitch is going to slide in behind and hit Britton Bashir's. And Bashir's is rewarded for her determination and discipline at the plate. Ends up reaching on a hit by pitch in a long at-bat.
Really good at-bat for Bashir's, fouling off a lot of pitches, staying alive. That's what you've got to do with in a 2-strike count. But again, on the other side, not a bad at-bat for Durkowski. He was pounding the zone. Bashir's wasn't even really put anything into play and going to look to bounce back here.
And the first pitch is low for ball number 1 to Kennedy Wiley. Wiley singled in her first at-bat. Britton Bashir's on base, sitting at first for the Spartans. Not a threat to steal. Durkowski delivers. That's fouled straight back into the netting. And Alex, we talked about earlier Durkowski maybe finding her rhythm. It just feels like she hasn't been able to settle in yet. She's been able to get outs. That first inning went down 1-2-3. That felt clean, but other than that, she's really hasn't been able to get into a groove. Off speed there. Low for ball 2.
Michigan State's done a very nice job, able to sort of make a little noise without doing a lot of damage to Durkowski. 2 hits, a walk. They're getting a couple runners on base, and they capitalize for a run off the error.
Durkowski delivers. That's inside again. That's going to get past Karkaburo and advance the runner to second.
Wolverines hurting themselves a couple times here. These couple errors are allowing Michigan State to get their runners in the scoring positions. And now a base hit. Well, maybe won't score Bashir's, but certainly move her up and perhaps threaten to score.
And Bashir's, the freshman, takes second on the passed ball. 3-1 count now. Outside and away. That's another walk. And now 2 on for Michigan State with 1 out. They're threatening yet again. And Michigan is going to meet in the circle with Lauren Durkowski. Not seeing any action in the Michigan bullpen. No real reason to make a change yet. But the Wolverines going to meet up real quick here and discuss with 2 on and 1 out after they let Michigan State get 3 on, load the bases with no one out last inning.
Likely meeting to discuss how to approach Macy Lee, a really good hitter for the Spartans. But 2 aboard, double play ball is there, a ball on the ground, likely gets out of this inning for Durkowski.
Macy Lee, the sophomore catcher from Phoenix, Arizona, steps into the batter's box. The delivery from Durkowski is fouled straight back. And like you said, Alex, ground ball here is good for Michigan. Force outs at first, second, and third. And everyone in the infield knows that. Durkowski takes a peek at that wristband. Goes back to the windup. Delivers. Pitches just inside for ball one. 1-1 count on Macy Lee, the sophomore catcher. Lee in that right-handed batter's box, hanging in there. Staring down Lauren Durkowski. Durkowski sets, delivers, swing and a miss. Strike two. Off speed there from Durkowski. Macy Lee couldn't quite line it up. 1-2 count now on the sophomore. Durkowski sets, delivers, and that is ripped foul toward the Michigan dugout.
Good pitch sequence there for Durkowski. Had her looking low with the breaking ball and then went up top. Changing eye levels, just making Lee find pitches in different spots.
Durkowski sets, takes a peek at that wristband, twirls the ball around in her hand, delivers, and that is ripped just foul. That would have definitely scored one, maybe two. Likely just one, but still would have been a big hit. It went right down the first baseline, just turned foul as it was about to go over the first base, the bag at first.
Umpires have had some tough foul ball calls early today.
That's absolutely right. Durkowski in a 1-2 count, sets, delivers. That ball is roped into the outfield, going to drop for a base hit. Whipped in by Sealer, cut off by Livingston. And so Michigan State doesn't score but loads the bases. And Sealer got it in quick. No chance for Bashirs to score. That'll bring up the freshman Mandy Essman, the second baseman for Coach McDonald Kelly. First pitch is low for ball one.
Ground ball still really good for the Wolverines right now. Double play gets them out of this inning.
Durkowski sets, delivers. That is ripped foul. Michigan State doing a good job putting a charge into some of these balls. They're just going foul, but they're making solid contact. Essman, a left-handed batter in a Spartan lineup that doesn't feature a lot of lefties. Only 3 compared to Michigan, which has 6. Second pitch in for strike number 2. 1 out. Bases loaded. The delivery from Durkowski and another ball ripped foul down the third base line. These Michigan State hitters, Alex, are doing a great job of hanging in and fighting.
They are. They're making Durkowski's life a little bit difficult. They're not. I mean, we saw swing and miss in this at bat, but for the most part, there's been a lot of foul balls. Not a ton of swing and miss pitches so far. Perhaps Durkowski will look to go back to the breaking ball on the 1-2 here. She's ahead in the count.
And that's outside for ball 2. Nice job by Karkaborough to get over and block that one. Pass ball scores a run for sure. The delivery swung on, hit to the third baseman McVeigh, flips it to second, bobbled it. They're not going to call her out. She stepped off. Did Langford get to apply the tag? They say no. And the umpires are going to meet up here. A weird play. McVeigh, it was a ground ball to the shortstop, McVeigh. McVeigh fielded it, flipped it to Langford at second. Langford bobbled it for a second. But Macy Lee had stepped off of the base.
She thought she was called out,
I think she assumed she was out, went to step off the base, and Langford applied the tag while she was off.
Well, it seemed like they didn't think Langford was able to apply that. They didn't call her out that time.
A run does score for Michigan State regardless. Michigan unable to turn two there. And so they do call Lee out at second, but a run still scores. 2-1 Spartans from East Lansing. So that'll be recorded as a fielder's choice, I believe. But it still brings in a run. So Essman records the RBI fielder's choice. Bashir's scored from third, but Macy Lee out at second. And Coach McDonald Kelly for the Spartans out there discussing the call with our first base umpire, Sergio Villarreal.
These are the moments where I really don't envy the umpires. You get a weirdo situation, have to try to get the call right.
Villarreal was the one that made the call at second. Mike Burwell talking things over with Bonnie Thole of Michigan. So, one thing's for sure. The run does score. Michigan State 2, Michigan nothing through 2.5 innings of play. As I think everything's sorted out now. 2 outs. Runners on the corners for Michigan State.
Batting for Michigan State, left fielder, number 41, A.J. Militello.
And A.J. Militello now will step into the batter's box for the green and white. Durkowski sets, delivers. Called for strike number 1, painting that outside edge. And so a weird circumstance allows Michigan State to push across a run. Would have liked to avoid the out at second there and add a chance to tack on a few more. Still can here with Militello at the dish. Militello in the 7th spot, the left fielder. Batting .224 on the year and 58 plate appearances. Militello resting that bat on the shoulder. Picks it up. Watches that pitch go by from Durkowski for a ball. 1-2 count. Durkowski with the advantage.
Durkowski still ahead. Doesn't have to give too good of a pitch to hit here. 1-2's got a couple. Try to get her to chase and get out of this inning.
And Durkowski has the stuff to get a swing and a miss. That is fouled off right. And we've seen these Spartan hitters really fight in these at-bats. Only 1 strikeout for Durkowski, who has a tendency to get a lot of swings and misses. We just haven't seen that today for Michigan State.
Michigan State really done a nice job battling with Durkowski, forcing him to throw more and more pitches, up to 56 early, but doing a nice job, not fanning too often.
Another pitch fouled straight back by Militello.
It's been an impressive showing from these Michigan State bats, up and down the order, really putting up a good fight against a really good pitcher in Durkowski.
And they've been able to get runs across through just getting runners on and finding gaps. Durkowski sets, delivers, swing and a miss, sits her down. Durkowski with her 2nd strikeout gets Michigan out of the inning, but not before Michigan State scores 1 more. 2-0 Sparty through 3 innings of play.
That was the swing and miss pitch we were looking for. Durkowski was able to get the strikeout in that inning, and 3 more innings of ball to play. A lot of time for Michigan to cut right back into this lead, make this a game. 2 runs is nothing with 3 innings to go.
And a pizza giveaway here at Sequia Stadium has the home crowd on their feet. Four innings to go here from Sequia Stadium in East Lansing, Michigan. Beautiful day, about 80, a nice breeze. The sun is shining. Not much more you can ask for, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Good time of year. You're just approaching summer. Baseball, softball season off to a good start.
Michigan State, four-time NCAA tournament appearances. 97, 99, 03, and 04. Won the Big Ten tournament in 2004. And so Carcaboro will step in for Michigan to get things started. It'll be Carcaboro, LeClaire, and McVeigh due up for Michigan this inning. 7, 8, 9. Carcaboro drew a walk in her first at-bat. Check swing there, doesn't matter. In for a strike. And what's been an excellent outing so far from Faith Guidry. Michigan only 2 hits, no runs through 3 innings. Guidry's been fantastic for McDonald, Kelly, and company. As Bonnie Tholes talking to Carcaboro, just trying to find some way to break things open here. Carcaboro hangs in there, bat high above her head. The delivery from Guidry is in there for strike number 2, 2-2 count here in the top of the 4th. That one was right on the black. Guidry takes a peek at that wristband. Turns, winds up, and delivers. That is hit right back to Guidry. Carcaboro going to have to run it out, and she does. Went right off the glove of Faith Guidry. And the second baseman, Mandy Essman, couldn't get there in time to flip it to Kennedy Wiley for the out. So Carcaboro reaches on an infield single. Just ripped right back to the pitcher, and Guidry couldn't turn around fast enough and snag it with the leather.
Would have been quite the piece of glove work if she'd been able to snag that one, but Carcaboro, good solid contact and gets rewarded.
LeClaire rips that one back toward the warning track, and that's going to drop at the wall. Spartans going to have to send it in. Michigan sending Carcaboro around, safe at third. And there's no play at the plate. Michigan State went to get the out at third. That's a triple for Audrey LeClaire, and Michigan is on the board.
Great piece of hitting by LeClaire. Crushed that ball to left field, and then a great slide at third to sneak around the tag. Ball beat her, but still able to get in.
Number 32, Ella McVeigh.
And Michigan finally breaks this one open here. Audrey LeClaire rips one over the left fielder Militello out of her outstretched arm, and it rolls all the way back to the wall. She slides into third, beats the throw, and Carcaboro scores from first. Michigan with a little momentum here in the top of the 4th. Bats coming alive.
Tying run at third. Michigan in a good spot.
Ella McVeigh at the dish now for Michigan. 0 for 1 on the day. Shows bunt. Pitch number 2 is low for ball 1. 1-1 count on McVeigh. McVeigh with a lot of speed, and LeClaire with a lot of speed at third here. Elise Sealer in that on-deck circle. McVeigh shows bunt again, brings it back. That one's outside for ball 2. This has been a fun one from East Lansing so far, and we've got a lot of softball left. Spartans 2, Wolverines 1, but Michigan's threatening here with 1 on third and no outs. LeClaire on third. McVeigh at the dish, grounds it to the second baseman, and she's safe at first. LeClaire scores. Essman fielded it cleanly at second, delivered it to Kennedy Wiley at first. Wiley couldn't hold on. She dropped it, tried to barehand it at the last second, but the speed of McVeigh too much. Michigan ties this one up at 2 apiece.
Very close play at first there. Thought the barehand might have been in time, but Michigan able to get a base runner on and get rewarded for putting the ball in play. Speed threat forces the defense to hurry up and able to take advantage.
And what had been a fantastic outing so far for Faith Guidry has turned a little sour here in the fourth. Gives up 3 hits and 2 runs. And Michigan State is going to make a change in the circle. Ashley Miller, the junior righty from Leo, Indiana, will step into the circle and get warmed up here.
Overall, a really solid outing from Guidry. Didn't allow much damage from the Michigan bats. Just a couple runs able to sneak in for the Wolverines here.
And McDonald Kelly going to try to switch things up before the damage is too great. But the day is done for Faith Guidry. Guidry, through her 3 innings of work, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 1 strikeout to 3 walks. And her day is done. Ashley Miller will step in now. And Ella McVeigh will still belong to Guidry if she so happens to score. Ashley Miller, the junior, 3.49 ERA. A regular starter for Michigan State. 82 1/3 innings of work this season. 6-8 is her record. 96 strikeouts to 33 walks. That is a bunt straight down. It's foul from Ellie Sealer at the plate for Michigan. McVeigh on first. Still no outs. It was the big triple to left from Audrey LeClaire that really opened up the scoring for Michigan. Carkerborough reached first, as that's a nice bunt from Sealer, going to be fielded cleanly and delivered to Kennedy Wiley at first base. Productive out, though, as it does advance Ella McVeigh to second. So Michigan 1 out, but a runner in scoring position.
Now batting number 3, Lexi Blair.
That'll bring up Lexi Blair.
Michigan able to move the runner into scoring position, so Blair now in an RBI chance and a really good bat for this Wolverines team all year.
Blair, like we've talked about, so effective for this Michigan team. 354 hitter on the season. First pitch watches. Blair watches it go high for ball 1. Blair 0 for 2 today. Flew out in the first and infield pop out in the third. But a chance to remedy that here for Michigan. Second pitch is outside for ball 2. And Alex, this is a big chance for Michigan here. 1 out, 1 on, and you're in the heart of your lineup. You really feel like you gotta find a way to push McVeigh across.
Absolutely.
Miller sets, delivers, and that's gonna be ripped through the first and second gap. Play at the plate, nothing doing. Ella McVeigh scores from second, and Michigan's on top 3-2. Lexi Blair, the graduate senior, so consistent, gets it done for the Wolverines. RBI single just found the gap between Wiley and Essman. And Michigan finds themselves on top now after they've now pushed 3 across in the 4th inning. Still more damage to potentially be done. 1 out, runner on first. That's Blair on first, and Eli Mataya now at the plate for Michigan. And again, that McVeigh run will count for Guidry. Bunt is foul. Michigan kind of ticky-tacky here, but it's working. They're finding ways to move their runners into scoring position and get timely hits.
Playing a little small ball, trying to get your runners into good spots. We saw Sealer bunt at the top of the order, so clearly not afraid to use some of the better hitters to move runners.
Upstairs, Blair's going to take off. She's going to be safe at second. That was a close play. I thought Macy Lee got her.
As did I. I didn't think she ever touched got her hand to the bag.
And so that'll be a stolen base for Lexi Blair. And Michigan right where they just were. Runner on second, nobody out. Or excuse me, 1 out. Up high on Mataya and a bit inside as well for ball 3, 3-1 count. And a hitter's count now for Eli Mataya with a runner in scoring position with speed, that being Lexi Blair. And anything out of the infield, you're thinking Blair scores from there. The delivery, that's going to be swung on, hit to the third baseman. That'll allow Blair to advance.
Good piece of base running from Blair.
And that's what you expect from your 5th year center fielder. So experienced in these kind of situations, knows exactly what to do. And so that brings up Kiki Thole. A lot of pop in that bat. Thole reached on an error in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 1st. Runner on 3rd. 2 outs now for Michigan, who's up 3-2 after a 3-run 4th inning. Strike 1 to Kiki Thole. Pitch number 2 is in for strike 2. Kiki Thole down 0-2 quickly. And now Michigan with a chance to strand Blair on 3rd. That pitch is just off the plate for ball 1. Ashley Miller tried to confuse Thole with the off speed there. Michigan on top, 3-2, top of the 4th. That is going to be chopped towards 3rd. Easy play at first, and that'll retire the side. But not before Michigan scores 3 to take a 3-2 lead here in East Lansing. Don't go anywhere. More softball to come as the Spartans are due up in the bottom of the 4th. Lauren Durkowski in the circle for Michigan. Michigan State advertising their spring game coming up this weekend. The Wolverines had their spring game 2 weeks ago. Had a pleasure calling that with Zach Linfield. It was great to be back in the big house for what should be another excellent year of Michigan football next season. WCBN, as always, will have coverage of every Michigan football game. Looking forward to that. And you'll get to hear a lot of new voices for Michigan football next season with no Zach Linfield, no Adam Bressler, no Charlie Brigham, no Jared Greenspan, no Amir Bekdas. That's some of our best and most consistent broadcasters that'll be moving on to greener pastures next year, but excited for some of our younger broadcasters to get a chance to step up. I know, Alex, you're excited to call football next year.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to it.
Try not to sound too excited.
Well, you can't be too excited when we're talking about the loss of people like Adam Bressler.
The heart and soul of WCBN Sports, Adam Bressler. First pitch is up and away from Durkowski. Barrasso at the plate for Michigan State. Popped out in the second inning, her lone plate appearance. And Melina Livingston makes a diving grab in foul territory from first base. How about that? Livingston flashing the leather, and that's an early out for Michigan.
That's a great play right there, Kelin.
A diving grab from Livingston in foul territory. Talk about flashing the leather. Put that on a Sports Center highlight. So that's one out now in the bottom of the fourth. Durkowski says a little thank you to her first baseman for getting her a free one there. Anna Fox, the shortstop, steps in. Up and inside. The first pitch to second pitch to Fox, ball 2. 2-0 count to the shortstop. Fox, a lefty, a 180 hitter. And that's in there for strike number 1. Fox didn't swing at it. Durkowski takes a peek at that wristband. Finds her grip. Sets, winds up and deals. And that's just on the outside corner. Nice pitch there from Lauren Durkowski for strike number 2.
Both those strikes right on the corner for Durkowski. Excellent command from the sophomore.
Durkowski sets, fires away, goes right back to the same spot, leaves it just outside for ball 3. Full count coming up for Anna Fox, the 9-hole hitting shortstop. Durkowski looks, sets, winds up and fires. That'll be just outside for ball number 4. Anna Fox takes first for free. And that'll take us to the top of the order for Jess Mabry, the leader of this Spartan squad. 0 for 2 on the day. Ground out and a strikeout. And Fox with speed over there at first. 2 for 3 this year on stolen base attempts. That's second on the squad for Michigan State. Only behind, you guessed it, Jess Mabry, who's in the box right now. Durkowski fires just outside, and Carkerborough whips it down to Livingston at first. Unable to apply a tag there. Fox on soundly. 0-2 count to Mabry. And that's going to be a wild pitch there from Durkowski. Fox takes second with ease. That's the second time we've seen that from Durkowski today. Just misses way high. Carkerborough can't pop up in time to haul it in. 1-2 count now for the senior Mabry. Mabry holding that bat over that right shoulder. Pops it into right, and a diving grab Ellie Mattia delivers it to second, and that's a double play. How about this Michigan defense flashing the leather? First it's Livingston, then it's Mattia. The Wolverines escape unscathed in the fourth thanks to some tremendous defense from Melina Livingston and Ellie Mattia. Diving grab in foul territory at first and a diving grab in right field from the senior Mattia.
That's about as good of a defensive inning as you'll ever see. Two incredible diving plays on the right side of the field for the Wolverines.
What a fantastic performance from the Michigan defense here as, wow, I'm just in shock. That was some tremendous, tremendous defensive play from these Michigan fielders.
And that play by Mattia and right saved what would have certainly been an extra base hit in an RBI. Would have scored the runner for second. So big play from Mattia, stepped up, able to get a good jump on that ball and absolutely take one away for Michigan State.
And that's absolutely right, Alex. In a spot where Michigan took the momentum, putting up 3 runs in the fourth, Michigan State unable to get anything going there thanks to flat out amazing defense. Some web gems there from the Wolverines. That'll take us to the top of 5 now. We're chugging along here in East Lansing.
Let's see if the Wolverines can turn that defense into some offense. Maybe energize the squad a little bit. Livingston gonna get a chance.
That's right, Melina Livingston in the box for the Wolverines. Was hit by a pitch in the third and popped out to center during her first plate appearance.
Now playing third base for the Spartans, number 18, Bibiana Rodriguez.
And so Michigan State makes a defensive substitution. Bibiana Rodriguez in at third now. Subs in for Alexis Barrasso. Still Ashley Miller in the circle for Michigan State. That first pitch is in for ball 1 to Melina Livingston. Thank you, as always, for tuning into WCBN Sports live coverage of Michigan athletics. Michigan softball on the road today at Michigan State as Livingston uncorks one into foul territory in deep right. That'll be hauled in for out number 1. Nice play by Brooke Snyder out there in right. And to get on her horse into foul territory, but
The catcher, number 4, Riley
hauls it in for out number 1. That brings up Carkerborough, who was the one that got things started for Michigan last inning. Or excuse me, Livingston. Livingston's out. Langford's at the dish for Michigan. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Indiana Langford drew a walk in her first at-bat, grounded out in the 3rd, and chops that one foul. Bibiana Rodriguez seeing some action at the hot corner for the first time. Langford, the freshman. Tons of speed, more speed than you can imagine. And one of many lefties in this Michigan lineup as she pops that one just foul. At this point for Michigan, Alex, what are you trying to do here if you're Langford? No one on, 1 out. 1-2 count. You can't bunt at this point.
No, but she seems to be trying to sort of chop it to the left side of the infield and try to beat it out, but we'll see if she takes a full swing or if she keeps sort of chopping down to the left side.
And Langford, somebody that has employed the slap hitting strategy we've seen before.
I mean, Rodriguez is way in for MSU on the hot corner.
And just kind of tried to slap that one to the left side of the infield there. Made contact, but again, knocks it foul. 2-2 count. So Langford will step back into the left side of the batter's box. Miller delivers, swung on and missed, struck her out. And Michigan State will go around the horn for out number 2. And Ashley Miller with her first strikeout of the evening. So that'll bring up Carcaburo, who got it started for Michigan last inning. That just shows you how big of an inning it was for Michigan. And Carcaburo rips one foul down the left side. And I know I said it earlier, Alex, but we could not ask for any better weather here. This is just perfect softball weather. A light breeze coming in. Sun is shining. High 70s. Does not get any better than this.
It's absolutely gorgeous out here, Kelin.
I'm thrilled that we're outside.
Yeah.
Not stuck in the press box.
Yeah.
And that's going to be popped up. Going to be a tough play to make. It's going to drop for a single. A trio of Spartans converged on it. No one could get there. Drops in shallow left center. Shortstop, left fielder, and center fielder Fox, Militello, and Mabry all converged. No one could get there in time. So that'll bring up LeClaire. LeClaire tripled in her last at-bat. Sent Carcaburo all the way home from first. 2 outs, 1 on for Michigan.
Carcaburo having a really good day aboard on all 3 trips to the plate.
Check swing, and it doesn't matter. In for a strike. To Audrey LeClaire, the senior third baseman. Such a versatile piece for Bonnie Thole and this coaching staff, able to play in the outfield, play third. We've seen her at a number of different positions. That's going to be chopped towards second, or excuse me, towards short. They get the out at second, and that'll do it for the top of the 5th. Michigan, nothing doing there. Strand Carcaburo. And that'll bring us to the bottom of 5.
Ashley Miller's done a really nice job since coming into the game for the Spartans, quieting the Michigan offense a little bit.
That's absolutely right, Alex. Michigan hasn't really been able to get anything going. They were able to push Ella McVeigh across, but McVeigh is going to be attributed to Guidry. Swag Surfing, one of my favorite songs, coming over the intercom now.
Classic.
It's always a shame at the Big House. They tried playing it, and nobody really knew what they were doing. It was tough. It was a shame. It's a great opportunity.
Might see it again next year.
Speaking of the Big House, any students tuning in are welcome to head to the Big House at 7:30 tomorrow night for a chance to be in the shooting for NBC's Saturday night football commercial. Or pre-game, I don't know what they're going to do with it, but some kind of promotional material for NBC's Saturday night football. So if you're a student, show up to the Big House and be loud. Wear your game day attire. Mabry ended the last inning. That brings up Brooke Snyder, the senior right fielder. We've seen her make a couple of nice plays out there in right. At the dish so far, though, hasn't been able to get anything going. Struck out looking in the 3rd and flew out to center in the 1st. First pitch is a strike from Durkowski. And Alex, we've seen Lauren Durkowski really settle in here this last inning. Off of a couple of web gems from this Michigan defense. The infield and Melina Livingston getting it done in foul territory. In the outfield, Ellie Mataya flashing the leather on the diving grab.
Durkowski certainly has settled in a bit. Defense, as you said, has helped her a bit, but for the most part, she's done a nice job with this Michigan State order in the last couple innings.
Really has. That pitch is upstairs for ball one. 1-2 count. Durkowski peeks at the wristband. Sets. Loads. Spins it and fires. And that's going to just get over the outstretched arm of Ella McVeigh. She tried to get up for it. Couldn't get there. And it just bloops in for a single. Snyder reaches for the first time against the Wolverines. And that'll bring up the designated player, Britton Bashirs.
McVeigh, you can tell, really wanted to make that play at short. Had a little smile afterward, but tough play, leaping for the shortstop.
McVeigh just plays happy. She's a big energizer for this Michigan squad. Always smiling, running around, has a number of handshakes and dances she likes to do with her teammates. But standing at 5'7", not able to get up there and make that grab. 1-1 count on Britton Bashirs. One runner on for Michigan State. That would be the right fielder, Snyder. No outs. 3-2 game. Michigan, with a big fourth inning, took the lead and hasn't given it back. Durkowski adjusts, sets, winds up and fires. That's going to be scalded foul. Big rip there by Bashirs. Britton Bashirs. That hit by pitch that she earned in the third ended up scoring a run for Michigan State. That's going to be a fly out to Mataya in right. Mataya comfortably positioned before the warning track along that outfield line. That'll bring up the first baseman, Kennedy Wiley. And her Jason Aldean walk-up song gets some of the younger members of the crowd fired up, singing along. One out, one on for the first baseman. Kennedy Wiley singled in the second, drew a walk in the third, so she's done a great job of getting on base and contributing for this Spartan lineup. Fouls that one out over the stands. So Durkowski looks over to the dugout, gets her signal, takes a peek at the wristband. Looks, sets, delivers, and that's going to be ripped to the shortstop, McVeigh. McVeigh going for the double play, and they get the out at second. McVeigh held it for a second. It looks like she kind of bobbled it when she tried to grip it initially. Michigan can't turn two, but they get the out at second. Macy Lee steps up now for the Spartans. 2 outs, 1 on. Lee was tagged out at second just a couple innings ago in the third during a weird situation as she swings and misses on that first pitch. Michigan tried to get the force out at second. Langford bobbled the throw, but Macy Lee had stepped off the bag, and Langford wisely applied the tag. That ball is driven into center field. Backing up is Blair, and she gloves it cleanly in center field. That'll retire the side for Michigan State. Durkowski, 2 straight scoreless innings of work. That'll take us to the top of the 6th. Wolverines up 3-2. Live from Michigan State's campus in East Lansing, Sekia Stadium. More Michigan softball to come. I'm Kelin Flynn if you're just joining us. Alongside me, Alex Miller. Alex, this has been a fun game so far.
Certainly has been enjoyable to watch. And the score doesn't really show it with the 3-2, but there's been a decent amount of base runners. A lot of intrigue here to enjoy.
That's absolutely right. And still Abby Miller in the circle for Michigan State. She hasn't given up any runs. It was all the 3 by way of Faith Guidry in the 4th inning for Michigan. Got started with a Riley Carcaburo reaching on a walk, and then from there, LeClaire tripled into left. Michigan brought home LeClaire with a single from Sealer, and then, from McVeigh. And then Michigan able to push McVeigh around to score as well. But they stranded Blair, who brought home McVeigh at third. Speaking of McVeigh, she's the one that started off for Michigan. It'll be McVeigh, Sealer, and Blair in the top of the 6th for the Wolverines. Abby Miller still going to work. McVeigh reached on an error in the 4th that drove in a run. That was the 2nd error of the contest for Sparty. And that's again going to be fouled back into the net. Alex, and we've seen the bottom of this, really both lineups contribute in big ways for both of these teams so far.
Michigan's lineup's been very deep today, and so is State. Absolutely right.
One-two count now for Ella McVeigh. No outs, 3-2 ball game here, top of the 6th. Beautiful day in East Lansing, Michigan. Weather pretty much the same as Ann Arbor. The delivery from Miller is going to be hit right back to Miller. Easy out at first. That's one down, and we'll bring up Ellie Sealer, the leadoff hitter for Bonnie Thole. Sealer 0 for 1 on the day, but reached on a walk, 4 straight pitch walk in the 1st, and then grounded out in the 4th to advance Ella McVeigh. First pitch to Sealer is in for ball 1. And it feels like some of that confidence and swagger Michigan State had to start this game has dissipated a little bit.
I think that tends to happen when you're playing from behind, and it's easy playing with the lead. Coming from behind is always the harder thing to do in the world of sports.
And that's something that Michigan State really hasn't excelled at this year. 1-8 in Big Ten play. They've struggled against conference competition. Their lone win coming against Wisconsin.
For Michigan, I mean, it's an opportunity to take a win against a team that has been, as you said, struggling in the Big Ten. And they're up 3-2, a couple innings to go, and hopefully are able to hold on to that lead.
This is absolutely a must-win for Michigan, who's sitting at 7th in the Big Ten. Michigan State at the bottom. Again, Michigan State's lone conference win coming at home against Wisconsin March 24th. Sealer draws another walk on 4 straight pitches, and so Michigan has 1 aboard in the top of the 6th. That'll bring up Lexi Blair. Blair drove in Ella McVeigh her last time up. And again, first-year head coach Sharonda McDonald-Kelly at the helm for Sparty now. First pitch in for a strike on Blair. Talked about how she had experience as a head coach at Campbell, but also Power 5 experience as an assistant at Florida, Texas Tech, LSU, and Ohio State. When she was the recruiting coordinator at Florida State back in 2017, they brought in a top 10 class then. So this is somebody that at the helm that knows what they're doing and has experience with talent. Talented herself, was 4-time All-Big 12 selection at Texas A&M during her playing days in the early 2000s. Has the career record there for stolen bases. Made an appearance as a player in the College World Series.
As you mentioned, the Spartan team has been an NCAA tournament since 2004, and they'll look for her to turn this program around.
And that's exactly what McDonald-Kelly is trying to do here in East Lansing, is turn that around. That ball is rocketed into left center field. That's going to advance Sealer. Sealer rounding third. She's going to be in at the home, no question. Michigan tacks another one on in the top of the 6th. Lexi Blair with her 2nd RBI. She's in for a double.
Really good piece of hitting by Blair, able to go opposite field with that ball and shrug it off in the left center field gap. Not going to run.
That'll bring up Ellie Mataya, the right fielder. Mataya's been really solid for Michigan all season. Started off in the leadoff spot. Sealers worked her way up there more recently, as they've kind of settled into this order. That's a ground ball to Essman at second. Easy play to first, but a productive out advances Lexi Blair to third base. So Blair in a similar position as she was in the 4th, drives in a run, and now she's at third with 2 outs. Kiki Thole unable to drive her in last time. Get another chance here. Thole, 3 plate appearances, struck out, reached on an error, and grounded out. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Kiki Thole trying to hang in there. 7 home runs, leads this Michigan squad. High and away to Thole for ball 1, 1-1 count to the right-handed junior. And Thole in the first almost had an RBI, just a couple blades of grass away from falling fair as she ropes that one. That one's no doubt fair. That'll score Lexi Blair as Michigan tacks another one on. A rip into left field. Easy RBI single for the designated player, Kiki Thole.
Thole just got her hands in, able to turn on that pitch and rip it to left field. Really quality piece of hitting.
And Michigan doing big things here as we have a pinch runner now on for Thole. Just trying to get a number there.
Running at first base, number 8, Maddie
And that'll be Maddie Ramey, the freshman, in the pinch run. Seen her coming in these situations a number of times this year as Melina Livingston steps up to the plate. Ashley Miller's given up 2 this inning. 2 outs with Livingston at the dish. Maddie Ramey pinch running, a threat to steal. She's 1 for 1 on stolen base attempts this season. Miller sets, delivers. In for strike 2. 0-2 count on Melina Livingston. Indiana Langford in the on-deck circle for Michigan. "5-2 is our score. Top of the 6th. 2 outs. Michigan with 1 runner on first. That's in there for a ball. Livingston holding on. Ashley Miller had been solid since coming in through about 2 innings. Now gives up 2 runs here. Michigan seems to have found a rhythm as, just as I say that, she gets a swing and a miss on Melina Livingston to retire the side. So Michigan State gives up 2 more. 3-run deficit for the Spartans with 1.5 innings to go here from East Lansing. Thank you, as always, for tuning in to WCBN Sports live coverage of Michigan softball. Our pleasure to get a chance to drive an hour down the road and call this game live from East Lansing. And the Wolverines, after a slow start, have really turned up the heat the last couple of innings. Durkowski has gotten in rhythm from the circle, and the bats have turned up. 3 runs in the 4th, 2 in the 6th for Michigan. Spartans put 1 across in the 2nd, put 1 across in the 3rd, but haven't been able to keep pace with Michigan the last couple of innings. Alex, are you seeing anything from Lauren Durkowski that shows any signs that she'd be slowing down here?
I haven't noticed anything at all. She's looked She's looked sharp. Anything sharper in the last couple innings that she did to start this game.
I'd completely agree with that.
Command has been there for the most part. She's had a couple passed balls, but other than that, has done a really nice job hitting the catcher's mitt.
Mandy Essman steps in the left-handed batter's box for Michigan State. The freshman second baseman rips that one towards the shortstop, McVeigh. McVeigh with a nice backhanded grab and fires it over to Livingston at first for the out. Nice play from Ella McVeigh at shortstop.
McVeigh made what was a fairly tough play look really easy right there. Nice backhand and nice throw on the money to first.
And so Militello not at the dish now for Michigan State. It's Colette Allen, the junior right-handed hitter. Excuse me, Allen, a freshman from California, Sierra Madre. And that's a quick 0-2 count on Colette Allen. So Michigan gonna, that's just gonna be an easy ground out to Durkowski. Durkowski walks it over to Livingston and flips it to her for out number 2. So that's 2 quick outs for Michigan and Lauren Durkowski. That brings up Bibiana Rodriguez. Rodriguez came in as a defensive substitution for Alex Barrasso 2 innings ago. This is her first plate appearance of the evening. First pitch, ball 1 to Rodriguez from Durkowski. Durkowski's been rock solid so far today. 5 2/3 innings of work, 4 hits, 2 runs, only one of them earned. Second pitch is driven foul on toward the Michigan State dugout.
Almost hit her teammate Anna Fox in the batter's box. In the on-deck circle, excuse me.
Fox due up next in the batter's box. 1-1 count, 2 down, no runners on base for the Michigan State Spartans. Durkowski delivers inside. Ball 2. And Michigan State's bats have really just gone cold. Lauren Durkowski's gotten into rhythm and has really been able to mow through this Michigan State lineup the last couple of innings. Big hack, big whiff there from Rodriguez. 2-2 count. And we're starting to see more of these swings and misses that we're accustomed to with Durkowski in the circle. Durkowski checks out the wristband. Finds her grip. Rocks back. Fires upstairs for ball 3. Full count pending. The payoff pitch from Durkowski. Rocks back. Fires, and it's drilled right up the middle. Durkowski couldn't knock it down. I don't know if it would have mattered anyways. That's a base hit for Bibiana Rodriguez. That'll bring up Anna Fox. Spartans trying to find a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 6th.
I think that was Rodriguez's first hit at the college level.
Big time for Bibiana Rodriguez. First pitch in there for ball 1 to Anna Fox, as she's going to discuss with McDonald Kelly. And that's absolutely right, Alex. The first base hit of Bibiana Rodriguez's young career at the collegiate level, the freshman. Only played in 9 games, started in 1, only 3 plate appearances coming in today. And the freshman from Victorville, California, with her first base hit at the college level. That pitch is low. Nice block by Carcaburo. Anna Fox leads with a 2-0 count here. Spartans looking for a 2-out rally in the bottom of the 6th. 5-2 Michigan on top on the road in East Lansing. Check swing, strike anyways. To Anna Fox, the shortstop. Fox, a 180 hitter, drew a walk in her lone at bat today. Was pinch hit for in the 2nd. And that's in there for a strike 2. 2-2 count now for Durkowski. Durkowski, only 3 strikeouts today. Rocks back and delivers. That's a swing and a miss. Gonna be knocked foul. Just got a tip on it. As
He went off the mask of Karkaborough.
just going to make sure Karkaborough's okay. She appears to be all good. But Bonnie Thole's just going to have a quick word with her to make sure she's all right. Home plate umpire Mike Burwell. Just making sure everyone's all good. Quick pause in the action, but we're right back to it. 2-2 count. 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Bottom of the sixth. And that is just tipped again by Fox.
Barely got the end of the bat on that ball.
She was way out and ahead of that one.
Absolutely.
Durkowski got her with the off speed, had her fooled. Durkowski trying to find a rhythm here. Looking to get one more out here in the bottom of the sixth. Rocks back, fires. And that'll be a called ball. Durkowski thought she had it.
Good pitch from Durkowski either way. Either right just off the plate or just on it. It's a good spot to hit on either way.
Durkowski, full count, payoff pitch. That is going to be chopped foul. So we'll do it one more time. Lauren Durkowski. These Michigan State batters have gone back and forth a number of times. Full count. The payoff pitch from Lauren Durkowski. And it's foul yet again. We'll run it back. And Anna Fox doing a great job of hanging in there. Durkowski takes a look at the wristband. Spins, delivers, and it'll be chopped foul yet again.
Fox doing a really nice job, able to get her bat on these pitches, going out in front, trying to slap it the opposite way, but staying alive right now.
So we'll do the full count pitch one more time. Durkowski checks, sets, rocks back and fires, and it'll be popped up. McVeigh calls everyone else off, and that'll be the third out of the inning. Spartans strand one, and Michigan continues to roll. 3 straight scoreless innings from Durkowski. She's really settled in. As we'll head to the top of the 7th, Michigan on top, 5-2. They're gonna throw their last 3 hitters at Ashley Miller. Indiana Langford, Riley Karkaborough, and Audrey LeClaire. The bottom of the lineup for Michigan's been very potent. Gotten both of their big scoring runs going.
Karkaborough's had a day. I mean, 2 walks, 2 hits.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, a walk, 2 hits.
Reaching base 3 times in the bottom of that lineup has done wonders for Michigan's offensive output.
See if they can provide a little more insurance for Michigan in this final inning of play.
So it's Ashley Miller in the circle for Michigan State. She's gone 3 innings. Filled in for Faith Guidry. Guidry gave up 3. Miller's given up 2. 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. through 3 innings of work as Indiana Langford chops that one foul. 0-1 to start off. Miller struck 2 out, walked 1. Pitch count up to 46. So she's got plenty of gas left in that tank. That's a bunt from Langford and a good one. She's going to beat it out easily. Indiana Langford with a textbook bunt there. And Michigan's got a base runner early.
That's a pretty bunt right there, Kelin. Put it right between all 3 defenders. Catcher, pitcher, third baseman. No one able to make the play.
And with the speed of Langford, that's tough for any defense to find an out there. Just gets it to stop on a dime in the perfect spot. Textbook execution from the freshman.
And now you've got our base runner early. Always good to have the leadoff runner on, especially one that's got some speed.
Carcabro is going to lay down a bunt, and it hits her. So that'll go foul.
A little less textbook, but nevertheless, Carcabro still going to get another shot as it stayed foul.
And we've seen Michigan have a lot of success playing small ball, as you said earlier, Alex, at the bottom of the lineup here. Carcabro reached on all 3 of her plate appearances so far. 2 singles and a walk. There's a bunt from Carcabro. And she'll be out at first, but it'll advance Langford. So 1 down, but a runner on second now.
Michigan today consistently, whenever they've gotten a leadoff runner, has had their number 2 person in the inning bunt to move them up. And then you have a runner in scoring position, 1 out, and able to threaten early into the inning.
That'll bring up Audrey LeClaire. LeClaire had the big triple in the 4th. She's going to be tasked with moving Indiana Langford home as she fouls that one out of the grandstand. A couple of young fans quickly head for the exit to try to find that loose foul ball. Miller working in the top of the 7th with 1 on, 1 out. LeClaire at the dish. That's off speed, and that's going to freeze LeClaire. Excellent pitch from Ashley Miller. 0-2 count to the senior. And the senior that's been pretty good today. A single, a triple, and a fielder's choice in the 5th. Ball 1, make it a 1-2 count, 1 out. 5-2, Wolverines on top here from East Lansing. Took them a few innings to get started, but 3 runs in the 4th, 2 more in the 6th, have them on top. And that's going to be chopped and awkwardly bounce off the back of LeClaire's head. Signals she's all right. So Miller takes a peek at that wristband. And that's going to be a base hit. Gets past the shortstop. Won't score Langford. Langford had to stay honest there because Anna Fox had a chance at that one. Laid out for it. Just couldn't get it in time. And LeClaire continues the hot bats at the bottom of the order for Michigan. Runners on the corners now for the Wolverines. 1 out.
Bottom of the order really having a good day for the Wolverines. Producing consistently, and McVeigh in another big spot.
And so we're going to have a pinch hitter now for Ella McVeigh. That will be, I believe, Maddie Erickson, the freshman. We've seen her at 1st and 3rd at times this season.
Erickson in a big spot here. Runners on the corners. Chance to add some RBIs to her total.
Erickson brings that bat up high. First pitch, and LeClaire takes second with ease. Langford popped off third, and so they throw to third, and LeClaire takes second freely.
It's a classic play. You see that from everywhere to Little League to the college level. Runners on the corners. Send runner to second.
With LeClaire's speed, easy to execute for Michigan. 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position for the Wolverines. Big swing and a miss there from Maddie Erickson, the freshman. And another big hack. That's a strikeout for Erickson. And so that'll bring up Eddie Sealer in the top of this Michigan order with a chance to put this game on ice potentially and really extend the Michigan lead. Two-run lead right now, excuse me, a 3-run lead right now for Michigan. A chance to tack on a couple more in the top of the 7th. Big swing and a miss there from Sealer. Good pitch from Ashley Miller.
With LeClaire's speed at second, a base hit to the outfield probably scores 2 and puts Michigan into a very good spot heading into the bottom of the 7th.
Miller rocks back and fires. Ball, but a nice block by Macy Lee to prevent the pass ball and what would have been an easy score for Indiana Langford from third. That's why that strikeout to Erickson was so big, as Langford has the speed to beat out a tough play at the plate. That ball's fouled off by Sealer. 1-2 count. Sun setting over the outfield here.
Beautiful day moving to a beautiful evening.
Miller rocks back and fires. That's off the dish for ball 2.
Another really good stop by Lee.
Ashley Miller trying to give Michigan State some life here. Off speed, just off the black. That's a tough call.
That one looked good from up here.
Off speed looked pretty. But that'll be a full count now for Sealer. Sealer with a chance to blow this one open. Fouls it straight back. We'll do the full count one more time. You've got to think with the way Durkowski's operated the past couple innings that if Michigan's able to push even one more run across here, that really makes Sparty's chances of a comeback slim. The delivery from Miller, swung on and missed. And Ellie Sealer strands 2. Ashley Miller gets Michigan State out of the jam. So it'll all come down to the bottom of the 7th. Spartans down 3. And Jess Mabry due up for Michigan State. Mabry's got a 5-game hitting streak on the line right now. 0 for 3 today with 1 strikeout. Not that that's what's on her mind right now, but riding a 5-game hitting streak. 0 for 3 today.
One thing we haven't really mentioned today is how many Michigan fans have traveled here to East Lansing to join us for this one. Good to see some maize and blue in the crowd.
Absolutely, and Michigan fans travel with the best of them in the country. Like seeing a couple of youth softball teams here as well. And you got to imagine a lot of these local teams have had players go through their program that go on to play at Michigan or Michigan State.
Yeah, there are a pretty good amount of in-state products on both these rosters. Maybe the next one is in the stands. You never know.
So we take you to the bottom of the 7th from East Lansing. Michigan State. In-state rivalry. Wolverines on top 5-2 in East Lansing. Jess Mabry steps into the right side of that batter's box. 0 for 3 on the day. Looking to start a rally in the bottom of the 7th for Sparty. First pitch is in for a strike from Durkowski. Durkowski's been rock solid for Michigan through 6 innings of work. 5 hits, 2 runs given up, only 1 earned. Pitch counts up to 108 for Dirk. She sets and fires. That's in there for strike number 2. So 2 pitches from Durkowski. Mabry watches both of them roll over the plate for strikes. 0-2 pitchers count. Durkowski peeks at that wristband. Rocks back, winds up, fires. That's up high for ball 1. And we've seen Durkowski's had Mabry's number all day today.
She has. I mean, Mabry a really good hitter, but yet to reach base today against Durkowski. And fun to see the best player match up against the best pitcher in the final inning here.
And that's going to be ripped to the hot corner. Nice glove save by LeClaire. And she fires it over to first for out number 1. Audrey LeClaire backhanded that one and delivered a dart across the diamond.
Really smooth backhand from LeClaire, making that play look easy, just as I said about McVeigh earlier. And also a nice pick at first by Livingston, getting down and extending to stab that one. Good play all around the Michigan infield.
First pitch to Snyder is in for a strike. 1 out, Michigan State with 2 outs left. And that's just going to dribble foul. So 0-2 count now, real quick, on the right fielder, Brooke Snyder. Durkowski operating smoothly here in the bottom of the 7th. Bashir in the on-deck circle. Time is called. Durkowski will reset. She digs her feet in. Sets, rocks back. Fires, swing and a miss. Got her upstairs on the rise ball, and Michigan is 1 out away from a big rivalry win here in East Lansing. 4th strikeout of the contest for Lauren Durkowski as she looks to go the distance. Bashir steps in. Michigan State onto their final out. Wolverines up 5-2. Bottom of the 7th, no one on as Bashir drives that one foul into the netting on the right side. Two outs, 1 strike on Bashir. Bashir gonna chop it. Third baseman LeClaire has it. Strike in time. Livingston bobbled it, and Sparty still has life. Throw was low, and Michigan leaves the door open. Kennedy Wiley will step in.
Same duo, 3rd and 1st. There'd been a really nice play on the previous out, unable to connect. Complete the out there to end this game.
Rocks back and fires. Durkowski low on that one for ball one. So Michigan State with a little bit of life here. One runner on, one at the dish, 2 outs, so backs against the wall, but still a chance. Michigan couldn't close the door. LeClaire with a low throw to Livingston as that one is driven back to the warning track and caught on the edge of the dirt by Ellie Sealer. That'll do it here from East Lansing. 5-2 is your final. Michigan on top. Lauren Durkowski went the distance, 7 innings of work. And she only gave up 4 hits on the day. Big time outing from Lauren Durkowski. Thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports live coverage of Michigan softball. For myself, Kelin Flynn, my partner, Alex Miller. This is what we love to do. Beautiful day here. We wouldn't be here without all of you. Alex, any final thoughts?
Thanks for tuning in.
Well, with that, we're going to leave you as we always do with a good night, and go blue.